afternoon. Well, today, as we do every day, Conservatives entered to the House of Commons to advocate to make life more affordable for Canadians. We did this by putting forward a motion that would call on the Liberal government to use its powers in Section 7.1 of the Broadcasting Act to reject the CRTC's decision to increase the streaming tax by 3 times, from 5% to 15%, on online streaming services like Disney+, Netflix, and Spotify. After 11 years of this costly Liberal government, Canadians are struggling to make ends meet. We know that. Everything costs more. Groceries, gas, rent, mortgages, etc. And now even the basics that Canadians use to unwind, such as their favorite music or their favorite TV show, have now just become even more expensive. This is a problem. In the short term, it's a direct hit to household budgets, but in the long term, it's a hit to investment. This type of decision impacts what companies do in our country. Experts like Dr. Michael Geist, a law professor at the University of Ottawa and expert in technology, has stated that the 15% streaming tax will place Canada among the most expensive operating jurisdictions in the world for streaming services. The Online Streaming Act, combined with this tax, sends a clear message that Canada is becoming a more expensive and more complicated place to invest. This matters. It matters because investment is what drives growth. Investment creates jobs, investment supports wages, investment builds opportunity, and when investment leaves, so too does prosperity. Canadians cannot afford this streaming tax, not in the short term and certainly not in the long term. Furthermore, it is a trade irritant. The Liberals could not have chosen a worse time internationally to provoke this fight. With the critical CUSMA review ahead, American officials have already flagged Canada's streaming tax as a major trade irritant. In fact, the U.S. ambassador warned that tripling the levy is, quote, making a bad situation worse. Instead of reducing tensions and strengthening economic cooperation, the government is escalating a dispute that severely weakens Canada's position. At a time of economic uncertainty, we should be focused on becoming more competitive as a nation, not less. We should be attracting investment, expanding trade, and making life more affordable for Canadians, not driving business away and making life more expensive. Again, today's motion brought forward by the Conservatives is about exactly that, standing up for Canadians, making life more affordable, and asking this government to repeal yet another tax it is threatening Canadians with. Thank you.
Bonjour, ça va très bien.
Est-ce qu'il y a une contradiction?
Merci pour la question.
Non, est-ce qu'il y a une contradiction? M. Carney, là, il est à New York. Il va parler aux investisseurs.
Oui.
En même temps, est-ce qu'il y a une contradiction avec son message de Davos, à votre avis?
Absolument pas.
Pourquoi pas?
Investissement étranger, qu'il soit l'investissement, donc d'attirer l'investissement étranger au Canada, qu'il soit américain, qu'il soit européen, qu'il soit japonais ou autre. Donc c'est l'investissement direct étranger. New York est quand même une grande capitale financière internationale.
Et qu'est-ce que ça nous dit qu'il aille à New York et pas à Washington sur l'état des négociations?
Oh, regardez, ça, je ne vais pas me prononcer là-dessus, ça ne m'appartient pas. Mais je trouve, et je l'ai fait moi dans une vie antérieure, de parler au Economic Club de New York, c'est important pour le Canada.
Parce que qu'est-ce que ça donne?
De l'investissement.
Hockey player Claude Lemieux has passed away. Do you have any
sorry?
thoughts? Hockey player Claude Lemieux has passed away.
Oh, I did not know that.
Do you have any thoughts on that?
I did not know that. I'm sorry to learn that. And he was, well, certainly much younger than me, and so it is unfortunate. I wish all the best to his family and friends. And he was, I remember, he was a remarkable hockey player, great tenacity. He would never abandon. He was always there. So I'm sorry to learn that.
Yeah,
I wish his family well.
He was 60 when he passed, so quite young.
Yeah, indeed, quite young.
Sorry, can I just ask you?
Yes.
Yesterday, the Prime Minister was
This is
asked.
one of the old days. Sorry.
The Prime Minister was asked if the MOU was worth it, even though it meant that Stephen Guilbeault decided to step down. Do you think that the MOU?
No, that I'm not going to go there. I'm just going to say, other than to say that we want Canada to work, and we believe that Canada is working.
Do you think a pipeline could
No,
cause
I'm
division
not,
in Quebec?
Sorry, I'm not going to go there.
Est-ce que je peux vous demander, Simon-Pierre
Oui.
Savard-Tremblay, qui passe du Bloc québécois au Parti québécois, Qu'est-ce que ça vous dit, ça?
Bon, sur la politique provinciale,
Ouais, parce que
je ne devrais pas me prononcer là-dessus. Je ne devrais pas.
Mais
écoutez, je pense que regardez, je ne trouve pas que ça soit surprenant qu'à l'approche d'une élection provinciale, on a vu en Ontario aussi, et probablement qu'on le verra dans d'autres provinces. Je pense que ce n'est pas étonnant que des députés fédéraux songent à passer au provincial et vice-versa aussi. Donc ça ne me surprend pas tellement. Particulièrement le lien entre le PQ et le Bloc. Bon, c'est la même famille.
est-ce que vous savez qu'il y a de la proximité en ce moment idéologique entre M. Blanchet et Paul Saint-Pierre
J'ai une question à poser à M. Blanchet et à M.
Why don't you want to talk about the pipeline? Is it
Because I don't want to.
Well, why not? Can I put you on that? I mean,
No, you can't.
But what's the
Well, you
reason?
could, but I want that one answer.
Forgive me, sir. Can you win Saint-Hyacinthe Bagot?
I'm sorry, can I?
Can the Liberal Party win Saint-Hyacinthe Bagot? It's been a
Well,
block.
I know from the 1980s. I think the last time a Liberal won there was in 1980. But we are certainly going to give it a good try, a good fight. I think we do have a chance.
En français
Oui,
là-dessus.
je pense que bon, Saint-Hyacinthe, on sait bien que c'est un bastion nationaliste québécois, mais on va certainement y donner tout ce qu'on peut. On veut vraiment aussi et je rappellerai seulement qu'on disait un peu la même chose de Terrebonne, et on l'a eu. OK, merci.
To New York to meet investors. Do you find that useful? Is that useful for Canadians that he's doing these trips, talking to the economic club? Do you think it's a useful trip?
Well, all I can say is that it's becoming very clear that we've elected a Conservative Prime Minister who is lining the pockets of the billionaire class. Certainly we see that with the Sovereign Wealth Fund, where most of the benefit is going to go to private investors. He's talking about selling off private assets. Let's not forget, he's a former CEO of Brookfields, and he's, hobnobbed with the billionaire class. He's certainly telling us where he's at with everybody else in this country, including workers, not supporting my bill to repeal Section 107 of the Canada Labour Code. When somebody shows you who they are, you need to believe it.
Do you think there's a use for Canada and Canada's economy for him to go to New York, talk to potential investors, within Canadian, that could put money in Canada's economy?
So, at a time where Canada's sovereignty is under threat from the United States, I certainly don't disagree with the need to diversify. However, we need to invest in Canada. We need to build steel in Canada by Canadian workers for Canada. Where he's choosing to spend taxpayer dollars, including that $25 billion that are going to line the pockets of the billionaire class, is certainly problematic. I think most Canadians are certainly in support of supporting a country where our sovereignty is protected, but certainly not on the back of everyday people, Indigenous rights, on the back of workers. Thank you.
On va prendre the trip to New York. Do you find that useful? That he goes to New York?
He seems to travel all over the world, spend more on food and catering than Canadians can possibly afford. He said Canadians should judge him on cost of the grocery store, and this guy spends like a drunken sailor on plain catering and doesn't seem to actually come out with any deals that make any difference for Canadians, and is still refusing to lower the costs for all Canadians so they can afford their own food at the grocery store themselves.
So you don't find this trip useful?
Depends what comes out of it. He needs to actually deliver action, not yet more words.
Mr. Hoback, you do a lot of U.S. trips. What do you think?
So we'll be watching, obviously, but for now there is more to know and more to be heard.
But it's historically a bloc riding since about 1980. I think Carlos Leitão was telling me. Do you think there's a chance? Or?
Yeah, we are in a different world in 2026. I think Quebecers, and certainly many of them in my riding, look at the world and see that it has changed, and therefore we need a new direction. And we'll see what people decide in that particular riding to do.
Est-ce que vous allez mettre des efforts dans Saint-Hyacinthe justement pour la partielle? Est-ce que parce que là vous avez gagné Terrebonne, est-ce que vous pensez que Saint-Hyacinthe c'est prenable?
Bon, on va mettre des efforts partout parce qu'on pense que toutes les régions du Québec ont besoin d'être bien représentées. Puis on pense qu'un représentant, un député libéral ferait un très bon travail. Maintenant, c'est aux citoyens de décider à la fin.
Je vous ai vu faire un gros colleux à Stephen Guilbeault hier. C'était très émouvant. Qu'est-ce que vous avez pensé de l'absence du premier ministre, l'absence de la plupart des ministres du cabinet? Est-ce que c'était respectueux?
Bien, ça a été annoncé à la toute dernière minute. Moi, j'ai eu la chance d'être là, mais j'aurais pu ne pas pouvoir être là parce que j'aurais pu avoir d'autres choses à l'agenda. Donc, je suis allé voir Stephen après la période des questions. J'ai dit, est-ce que c'est vraiment maintenant que tu présentes ton discours? Puis il m'a dit oui. Alors, j'ai pu rester, mais je sais que plusieurs autres auraient voulu être là, mais n'ont pas pu.
Vous pensez que Mark Carney aurait voulu être là?
Je pense que beaucoup de mes collègues, y compris M. Carney, auraient voulu être là. Parce que quelqu'un que... Stephen, je pense que c'est quelqu'un qu'on a tous compris qui était très attachant et très attaché aussi à notre gouvernement et au travail qu'il a fait dans les dernières années.
Yesterday, the Prime Minister was asked if the MOU was worth it, even though it meant losing Stephen Guilbeault. He said absolutely. Do you believe that the MOU is worth it, even given the consequences here?
Well, I'll let the Prime Minister obviously express his own opinion.
I'm not asking about the Prime Minister. What do you think about
No, I don't think I have anything else to add at this point, but I'll be watching the issue carefully over the next few weeks.
Do you think the pipeline is a good idea?
Pretty Liberal have a chance in Saint-Hyacinthe Bagot with Mr. Savard-Tremblay resigning? What do you think?
What was the question again?
Savard-Tremblay
Yeah,
résignation pour le provincial. Est-ce qu'il y a une chance pour le Parti libéral en Saint-Hyacinthe Bagot?
Oh yes, big chance. You can be sure we're going to be there on the field.
Sorry, Claude Lemieux? Are you a Claude Lemieux fan? He used to play for the Habs years ago.
Claude Lemieux?
Yeah, he just passed away. Do you have any thoughts on that?
My thoughts, it goes to his family, of course. Great hockey player, I love him. I'm very sad to learn about this.
Do you have any memories of watching him play?
Yeah, dur dans les coins, yes. And dur devant le filet. Un vrai Canadien, un vrai, très, he's gonna be missed. Yes.
Mieux, notre Buckingham décédé à 60 ans. Est-ce que vous avez un commentaire?
Vous me l'apprenez?
Oui, ben c'est ça, ça vient de tomber, là. Claude Lemieux qui est décédé, malheureusement. Avez-vous
non, j'ai
sur lui, souvenir peut-être, vous allez partager?
Non, pas vraiment. Écoutez, je suis assommé un peu, là. Je vais gérer la nouvelle et puis je vais vous revenir avec ça.
Mais qu'est-ce qu'il représentait, M. Lemieux? Qu'est-ce qu'il représentait?
There are a number of protesters today who are concerned with Canada's relationship with China right now. They say more needs to be done to keep Chinese Canadians safe. What do you make of that?
I think we're always very concerned about making sure that there's no transnational repression. So that is an issue of public safety. I think we need to continue to do that. And I think we will continue to ensure that we have a good relationship with China at the same time.
Are we doing too much right now and not enough to protect Canadians? I mean, we have this security agreement with China. There are concerns about what that means to keep Chinese Canadians safe.
I think speak to the public safety people about this thing. We have good intelligence, we have good support, and that Canadians who feel any sort of pressure from any foreign country should make those concerns known to the RCMP.
There are concerns right now that the foreign registry hasn't been implemented.